What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, bringing you another Pokemon card auctions of the week recap. Folks, an amazing video for you today. We'll be discussing a ton of graded Scarlet and Violet cards that came by this week, a whole slew of them. We'll be talking about the further decline, if you will, in the value of the Black Label Umbreon VMAX. And then I'm also going to discuss a potential modern card that I think may sooner rather than later reach over $1,000. So stay tuned for all of that and more. Thank you so much, community, for watching every week. I appreciate it more than you know. A quick shout out from today's video sponsor, CantoShark.com. Now, when you're done watching this recap, head over to CantoShark.com, the ultimate Pokemon marketplace. This site is dedicated exclusively to Pokemon only and has a variety of graded cards ranging from extremely affordable all the way up to absolute investment grails for your buying needs. So go head over to CantoShark.com so you can snag the best deals on the hottest Pokemon cards. Alright folks, we got a lot of cards to go over as always. Let's get started with what I was talking about earlier, all of those Scarlet and Violet graded cards that came by this week. Let's start off with this PSA 10 Miriam Full Art Trainer. Sold this week for $133.50, while the Japanese version sold for $321. And then we saw the other more valuable Miriam Full Art Trainer sell as a PSA 10 for $255, while the Japanese version of that sold for $910. And then we saw a bunch of other Scarlet and Violet graded cards we really haven't seen yet. Here is a Great Tusk EX in PSA 10 that sold for $86. We saw 3 of the Gyarados EX cards in PSA 10 ranging from $105 all the way up to $117. We saw 3 of the Gardevoir EX cards that ranged from $110 to $118. And then we saw 5 of the PSA 10 Miraidon EX cards ranging from $104 all the way up to $129. Here we saw a Koraidon EX as a BGS 10 Pristine that sold for only $53, while the PSA 10 copy sold for $125. It's not often you see a PSA 10 outperform a BGS 10 as much as that, so that was pretty interesting. And then lastly, we saw the Arcanine EX that came by and sold for $81 this week. Here we have a bunch of Japanese full art trainer cards, some pretty expensive ones. Here is an Erica's Hospitality from the Tag Bolt set, sold as a PSA 10 for $594. Here is a Green's Exploration from the Tag Team GX All-Star set, sold for $918. Here is a XY promo of Skyla, Blue Shock, Red Flash, and PSA 10 that sold for $1,836. We also saw this other Erica's Hospitality from the Tag Team GX All-Stars that sold for $2,125. Here we saw all 5 of the Scream promo cards, Mimikyu, Pikachu, Rowlet, Eevee, and Psyduck, all PSA 10, sold for a grand total of $9,100. And this won't be the last time we see these Scream promos. Up next are a few more BGS 10 cards. Here is an Alolan Raichu and Raichu GX that sold for $810. Here we have a promo Mew and Mewtwo GX. Also got the BGS 10 and sold for $305. Here we have a Deoxys VMAX from Crown Zenith in BGS 10 that sold for $76, but the Black Label copy sold for $510. A few more Black Labels. Here is a Charizard VMAX Rainbow Rare from Champion's Path that sold for $2,950. And then we saw the Blaziken VMAX, also got the Black Label from Chilling Reign, and it also sold for $2,950. Up next, we saw 2 PSA 10 copies of the Giratina V from Lost Origin. This card has been super strong, in my opinion, one of the strongest alt arts available. One sold for $785, and then another one sold for $820. And folks, this is the card that I wouldn't be surprised if we sooner than later saw it reach over $1,000 as a PSA 10. I'm just calling it right now. I see trends all the time doing these market recaps, and this one right here is pretty strong. I can foresee it going over $1,000. I could be wrong, you know, not financial advice to go out and buy PSA 10s now, but I think in future auction recaps we'll be seeing this card at 4 figures. Here we saw another CGC 10 Pristine Base Set Unlimited Charizard, but this one here sold this week for $9,200. And according to the description here, the subtitle, it is a Pop 3 card in the CGC Pop Report, so pretty low pop for CGC, sold for $9,100 this week. We also saw an Unlimited Vaporeon again from Jungle Set. Very difficult card to grade, sold for $1,800 in auction. We saw the Unlimited Jolteon Holo come by that sold for $616. Here's a first edition Ditto from Fossil Set that sold for $1,025, so pretty surprising there. Ditto pulling in some pretty big numbers. And then also from Fossil, this is a super interesting card. It is an Articuno Holo, Unlimited, from Fossil. This has the Cosmos holofoil on it, which is very rare. Has a PSA 8, sold this week for $7,069. This is a graded card I have never seen before, at least on this auction recap, so I thought that was very interesting. We saw a few cards from Legendary Collection. Here's a Reverse Holo Magneton, sold for $535. The Reverse Holo Squirtle sold for $1,136. And the Reverse Holo Charmander sold for $1,950. A couple of E-Series cards to get into. Here is a holographic Ampharos from Aquapolis that sold for $2,003 this week. We saw a Holo Vaporeon from Skyridge that sold for $1,238. And then a Reverse Holo Crystal Charizard from Skyridge came by, sold for $3,349. A few interesting sales from the EX era. Here's a Vileplume EX from Hidden Legends, sold for $316. Here's a Ninetales EX, also from Hidden Legends, sold for $662. Here is an Ampharos EX from Dragon Set. This card came by last week as a CGC 10. This week it sold for more as a PSA 10, selling for $910. Also from EX Dragon, here's a holographic Charizard that sold for $1,358. Here is a Celebi EX from Unseen Forces, hitting some crazy numbers yet again, selling this week for $8,050. We also saw a couple more EX cards from Dragon Set. Here is a Latios EX that sold for $865, while the Latios EX sold for $1,275. And then a few amazing cards from Fire Red Leaf Green. Here is a Gengar EX. I just love, this card just pops. That purple, the holo, everything about this card just pops. One of my favorite EX cards here. Sold for $3,750, while the Venusaur EX didn't do quite as well as the Gengar, still selling for $935. Also from Fire Red Leaf Green, here is a holographic Charmander, but this card sold as a PSA 10 for $787. We saw this here Vaporeon Gold Star from EX Power Keepers, sold for $1,980. We saw a couple cards from Call of Legends. Here's a Leafeon Holo that sold for $262. And then we saw this Espeon Holo as a PSA 10 sell for $405, while the BGS 10 copy sold for $460. And then a few very interesting sales from this week's PWCC auction block. Here is a holographic Articuno. This one's a first edition in PSA 10. This sold for $3,480. Here is a no rarity symbol Japanese Chansey Holo in PSA 9. Sold for $3,480. Here we saw the Black Label Moonbreon VMAX rearing its head again in auction. This time it sold for $6,000, which is the lowest price we've seen it since the epic sale of $12,000 a few months ago. So it's been officially cut in half, at least on PWCC auctions. Here we have from Heart Gold Soul Silver a Lugia Legend card, which is two cards you got to kind of piece together, both in PSA 10 that sold for $7,800 this week. Here is a CGC 10 Pristine Gold Star Espeon from the Pop Series 5 that sold for $9,600. Up next, we have a PSA 8 Arceus Design Contest promo card that sold for $10,800. This is a Pop 1 card with 3 graded higher. And then here we saw the Scream promo Pikachu card that sold as a PSA 10 for $2,520. But a Black Label copy came by, folks, and it did not fail to impress, as it sold for $15,000. And according to the subtitle here, it is a Pop 9 card in the BGS Pop Report. And the auction of the week, I'm going to have to give to this PSA 9 first edition base set Charizard that has hit a new low price, at least in the past 3 years, selling this week for $16,200. And folks, let me just say the sale before this, which was back in late 2022, it sold for $22,200, but back in late 2020, early 2021, this card was averaging about $45,000. So we have seen just about a $30,000 loss for this particular card. What do y'all think? Does that surprise you? Let me know in the comments below. Community, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to go check out cantoshark.com. I'd appreciate that as well. Leave a like if you enjoyed this auction recap, and don't forget to be a subscriber. That's all I got for you today. I will catch you all in my next one.